So I think that among the top concerns for the AEC community in the next 2 decades are the sustainability concerns that we've been dealing with for the last 10 to 15 years, but raised to a higher level. So energy efficiency is going to be a concern with achieving net zero and eventually net positive energy. Water is an increasing concern. Turner actually does some research every other year, and we did it this year. We noticed a distinct jump in the level of awareness and concern about water efficiency and water as a finite resource, healthy materials and how they are used in buildings, and the avoidance of materials that are have negative human health impacts is very important. So our job as the builder, that falls squarely on us to both hopefully be involved early enough to help with the specifications, but definitely to vet the specifications to make sure that we're procuring the right stuff, and then make sure through the submittal and documentation and review process that we're installing the right stuff. So that opens up the whole issue of managing our supply chain in an active way, which is sort of mind-bogglingly complex in a global economy. So, and the last thing I'd say is, with the increasing advent of extreme climate events, building resiliency has now become front and center. And I don't think it's either or. I think it's both and, so that we can't give up on mitigating the impacts of climate change, but we have to add resilience to our buildings to deal with the changes that have already happened. I think the role of the Design Futures Council in making positive change is to convene leading thinkers and practitioners to have really in-depth discussions about what the issues are, and then to use the broad relationships that are in the room and beyond to find ways to solve the problems. And I mean, I think the group is uniquely positioned to do that. Preponderance of architectural designers, but engineers and product manufacturers and the occasional builder. You've got all the people in the room, and the caliber of the people is exemplary to solve those big issues. So if I had advice to give emerging professionals in the AEC community with regard to sustainability, I would say, first of all, that sustainability as a passion is important, but it is not a job. I was once asked to meet a woman who just graduated from college with a degree in sustainability, and I said, well, what do you want to do now that you have your degree? And she said, I want to save the world. And I said, well, that's great. That's your religion. What is your job going to be? I think now especially that sustainability has become part of every sort of business, whether it's a consumer-facing product company, whether it's a B2B, whether it's a technical company. Everyone's concerned with sustainability in ways they define it. So it's going to touch all of us. I see lots of passion in young folks out of college and in the first few years. What I would advise them to do is to try their darndest to not have their passion and their idealism knocked out of them by the rigors of the work we all do on a day-to-day basis, because it can be easy to get overwhelmed by the realities and easy to sort of give up the struggle, and it can be a struggle. And I know in my career, each day seems like you're just banging your head against the wall sometimes, but then you look back 3 months or 6 months or 3 years and you realize that you have actually made progress. So I would urge them to persevere, to continue their education after they have their degree, because the one sort of exciting thing about sustainability is it's constantly evolving and changing, and becoming more rigorous, and we're learning new things, things that are important to us now we weren't even particularly paying attention to 5 years ago, and that's going to continue. And those folks are going to be the ones that are going to have to lead us to the next generation and carry on for us.